Okay. Welcome back to Case Closed, Anime Review, episode number 151. Yet, first time in a month since I'm back to this series. Well, that's because they had to air basically a remaster of a classic episode. That was the simple reason for it. This is discussing the 1039th episode of the anime, The Flying Jack-O-Lantern, an obvious Halloween episode that airs in April. Yes, seriously. Though unintentionally, it serves as a prelude to the 25th Case Closed movie. We have these two guys who are drunk coming home, and they spot like jack-o'-lanterns, and they say, "Oh look, it's Three Lantern Ghost." Who pop up once the episode after that? Yeah, the explanation for this is that the person behind what happens next accidentally caused this stuff because of a strong wind that night. Why was there a strong wind? Who the heck freaking knows? So then we have these three jack-o'-lanterns, and we see Conan arrive at the parrot shop, and there's nobody there. It's just the beautiful waitress Azura. Yes, she's here the whole episode. As mentioned Amuro a couple times. As for in the case of where Mori or Kongoro and Ran are, they apparently are unavailable. They apparently left town without Conan for the day. Which, that seems a little weird, the fact that they left him all alone. But not bad. And of course they said that he could hang out at the parrot shop, no problem, the parrot cafe. So, they have carved some jack-o'-lanterns. Now, obviously this episode was scripted to air probably in October. But probably was delayed due to various other stuff. So they aired this in April instead of October. Don't know why though, but that's probably the reason why. Because that's when the movie is coming out. So they covered jack-o'-lanterns up, despite the fact they closed to afternoon. It's like, turns out they really need it. She really needs it. Like with Conan's help. And then three random people come in who turn out to be regulars at the shop. Yes, regulars. And I think one of them was a teacher. Actually, two of them teachers. One is a preschool teacher. That's the old lady. The old man is a retired professor. And as for the woman, she's a married woman who is a mother of a daughter, who's also a student of her neighbor. And they just happen to live next to each other. These three townhouses. They look like townhouses. They look easily like normal houses they have in Japan anyways. They're not mansions. Because it's Japan. Everything is a bit cramped in there because basically it's an island country. I'm not going to criticize it, just how that stuff is. So, yeah. So, apparently these three people's jack-o'-lanterns disappear. The old lady, after a while, standing in front of their house, basically, she starts to collapse. Apparently she's been hospital for 6 months. And she just got released from the hospital just a week prior. What she was in the hospital for? Could have been a heart condition. Possibly. They don't really go into it also. She's taken inside, of course, at the investigating. Of course, they talk to the balloon operator, who apparently doesn't have any balloons available for these jack-o'-lantern balloons. We also see right through the episode kids, like you see little girls wearing witch outfits, see boys wearing a jack-o'-lantern on their head. I wonder if that's a nod to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. It's possible that might be. It's not really delved into it at all, aside from the fact you have witches and Pumpkinhead. Okay. So, after some investigating, Conan figures out the person who sold these three jack-o'-lanterns are, in fact, the other two with them. Now, this is not something that warrants, like, the police or whatever. Something small as a jack-o'-lantern. Did they smash it? No. Did they sell it? No. They just hit it in a balloon guy's car. So, they hit this car, and it turns out the reason why they did this, after some convincing, yep, they were effectively the ones who did it, was because this woman's students were making her a jack-o'-lantern. That's why she insists she basically was released a week early. Yeah, it turns out the reason why they was released a week early because, well, reasons. And the kids want to make her one because she always insisted on making her a jack-o'-lantern every year. So it does wrap up, and of course, there's a contest, and well, it turns out the winner of the contest was presented while Conan is off in their city during the events of the 25th movie. An okay episode per se. The best thing about it is the animation. In fact, you see Azusa actually outside of the cafe shop First time in the entire series. Also, I pointed this out though. I was watching this, so I was like, okay, you're out to the shop, and yet you're still wearing the cafe apron. You can take it off. Amuro doesn't wear it outside the shop, and yet you do for some reason. I don't know. Now, we're going to discuss 2 chapters of, when we move on to Case Closed, the chapter manga. Chapters 1090 and 1091. 1090 is an inclusion of the previous story arc. Excuse me, it's called The Silent Truth. And it's all decided via pizza. No, seriously, pizza is what decides all this. Pizza. So it's not cut, and of course they proceed to, so yeah, it's pre-cut, and then of course Mizumi's like, oh yeah, I want to cut it with basically a freaking butcher knife. Like, nah. And then of course she ships over. It looks like we have a bunch of flour, and of course Ran and Contra are just oblivious to this. What the heck is going on? And then of course somehow Momoji is top of Heiji, and the thing is she's blushing. And apparently she has no problem with him groping her by accident. Like, because he will squeeze, because he's basically grabbing one of her breasts. And apparently she's got no problem with it at all. She's blushing at it, of course. Then it looks like about the kid's like, what? Yeah. And Ko's like, ahem. And then they set her up. Yeah, he's like, no, get the best part. And of course they cut the pizza up. So like one little piece there. Yeah, and of course thanks to some convincing girls. Yeah. And it turns out the person who killed Momoji's grandfather, turns out the person who killed him was actually the scriptwriter. Now, why did he do it? And of course they explain how he did with the pizza stuff. And poison water. Yes, poison water. And apparently it's also using a woman that was with them during suicide. And the reason why he killed her was because their affair. That's why he killed the defector, the director. Yeah, so apparently he was wanting to introduce him to the married woman who basically was supposed to kill herself. It says apparently it was all his idea for him to cheat once. So that's the reason why, because he convinced him to cheat on his own wife. I don't know, it's kind of weird. He's hauled away, and of course Momoji is basically chastised by Kachi about this. About what mentioned to be, physically intimate. Intimacy, like, what do you say physically? Like, calm down. And then we get something quite interesting. Or it turns out the superintendent actually knows Momoji's butler. Yes, apparently according to suspectants by overhearing the conversation, it's suspected the butler is a member of Public Security. Public Security Bureau. Apparently his real name is Sakabura. Yep, and apparently the name he uses is back an alias. That'll be the first time we see this mysterious guy in this black car who looks like an oxygen mask. And he's got a patrol car. What if it's been an incident? Ignore it. After all, the police is nothing but a bunch of fools. Who is this person? Well, they don't really say exactly who this is. My best guess, and this is my personal theory, I think this might be the boss of the Black Organization. It's possible. I mean, the man is rumored to be 100 years old, so of course he got an oxygen mask. The chapter itself, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's an okay conclusion, but man. And then, of course, wait a month. Looking at basically the chapters come out just this week. We go on to chapter 1001, Crossover. And we're at a familiar location, restaurant known as Danny's. Yeah, this particular restaurant shows up a lot in the manga, even in the anime. It's probably by far one of the most frequent restaurants shown in the anime and the manga, aside from the Para Cafe. So basically, you have Conan, Detective Boys, eyebrows here, obviously, and the professor, and the professor's here, and of course, basically, they have some people walk over, like some old friends, and of course, they eat there, and then of course, yeah, Ami using the bathroom. So you see with a lady that looks, yeah, and there's this lady who pops up in the bathroom who turns out to be her teacher, her beautiful teacher, who. This has been unusual for her because a lot of time when she usually is wearing basically a tracksuit. Just nice. And of course, you see, you have Genta saying, "The heck of Chiba? What the heck?" And then, of course, for some reason, Takachu, the Shogun Master, is here too. What in the world? And then they hear Flump. Oh yeah, happy birthday. And of course where the guys go. And of course they have these little cupcakes. Yeah, and apparently 3 couples, crossovers. We see Keba with their teacher. The Shogun Master with Nico. By the way, these two... Now, Nico is dating Keba. Kobayashi is dating the guy in the bottom, so Roshi.
If you need your help, please, right?
Okay, I'll be out in a few minutes, okay? Like eating pears? What? Yeah, and of course, Princess picks up my peachy edge and they're very scary. Time to confront him. And then, of course, one of the ladies who basically talked to her earlier, she collapses. Yeah, and of course, then, the detective's like, what's going on here? Like, don't touch her. Kaba basically... does crap no pulse, and then of course Cersei is like, let's boy society, and then of course all the couples see each other like, what the heck is going on? What are you doing here? And it's so hilarious. It's like a piece of connected covers. Yeah, 3 of the 4 couples seeing the franchise basically see one of several couples. Yeah, everyone's wondering what the heck doing, why they're all swapped tables. It's so hilarious. I'm definitely looking forward to basically when the next show comes out this coming week. And there is new episode of the anime coming next week, which good job for that. Okay, so that's it for Particular View. Oh, by the way, get this chapter a 9.5 out of 10. This one I thought would be so hilarious. Yep. So, until next video, this will be Kaguya Levels 4 and Super Sentai. Okay, next video. Bye.